Manchester City 2, Arsenal 0 at Wembley. What really happened? Why don't we dive into it? So that's Ateta's quadruple hopes gone. I mean, they still have three trophies to go for. And at the end of the day, I feel like Ateta's rigidity costed Arsenal the game. He started the game in his usual 4-2-3-1, and then in possession they tried building up right from the back, and you could see that City's pressing made it very difficult. City pressed in a 4-2-4. They had four players high up the pitch. I'm talking Jeremy Doku, Haaland, Cheki, and Semenyo. It made it very difficult for them to play out the back. And the fact that Raya was also missing in that tie also meant that it was going to be difficult for them to, play out from the back. But then they went for it anyways, and we could see how that turned out for them. You could also see Declan Rice at times moving wide, and the fact that it's lasted on was really concerning. And then Pep, by the way, you really have to give him credit. His ability to always adapt. I like to remodify a little bit the meaning of dominance in football. I feel like when you dominate, you get to have the possession, and not just that, and then also have that attacking intent. Even when things aren't really going well for them, they still try to find spaces in their attacking third to exploit. And it was something that we saw Cheki do over and over again. It was really difficult for Arsenal to contain him. They tried overloading Semenyo's flank, which is the right wing. And, that really made it very easy for Nico O'Reilly to keep pushing up, and then scored two headers. I mean, this happened in the space of 4 minutes, and then right after, you couldn't really see any tweak from Ateta. The game just kept on going that way. And then from the second half to the end of the game, it was pure dominance from City. And then it said a lot about Ateta's rigidity. I mean, it has brought him this far. 90% of Arsenal's games that I got to watch this season, out of possession, it kept on looking like a 4-4-2. And then you also have to give Rodri his credit. He was one of the City players that kept making things happen. We were building up in a 3-2-5 and a 3-1-6, and you would always see him at the heart of it. Or when it was a 3-1-6, he was the lone DM there, and he played like a total maestro, which he is, by the way. I feel like no one can lace his boots. Top player, and you could see how he dominated that midfield. And then Bernardo Silva really complimented him when they shifted to it. So if you were to ask me to pick my man of the match, I'm going to go for Ryan Cherki. I feel like he really understood the position. He really understood what to do and how to do it. While City kept overloading that right flank, he was always there, and you could see the understanding between him and Semenyo. He absolutely dominated the park, so kudos to him. I feel like the fact that Ateta persisted with this system, this setup, really costed him. Because to be very honest, it will have been a very nice win for morale. They are looking to win one, two, three, four trophies. So winning one out of it is only going to give them that adrenaline. It's only going to give them that adrenaline to go for more. For the Premier League, the ball is in their courts, and Champions League are still doing well, and then they also have the FA Cup. So great chances for them to still win a major trophy under Arteta. If they don't get to win at least one trophy, best believe I'll be back here. And I'm going to upload a 30 minutes video. 25 minutes of that video is going to be me dancing, so look out for it.